Maestro.
It's a true thing. If you want to work, you should cut your hair.
Yeah, not have locks.
Yeah, not have locks, not have braids.
Nothing urban.
That's why you can't catch me on anything right now.
From Guys Like Us.
He played a character called Mr. Happy Pants, the clown.
To The Wire.
They end up getting a call from HBO. It's like, hey, look, your attorney's blowing it. We're going to move on.
To Suburgatory.
So yeah, 30 episodes, still never got past recurring. Sometimes you're forced to make sacrifices. They can be beneficial in the long run, but never dismiss the fact you got played. Every black person I know who writes scripts want to be Issa Rae. But none of them want to do it.
Hey everybody, it's Giovonnie Samuels here, and you're listening to another great episode of the Tokens Podcast. Today's guest is Maestro. He is a singer, a dancer, an actor, a podcaster, and from Guys Like Us with Dan Schneider, to The Wire, to Suburgatory, and of course his podcast, Surrounded by Idiots. Yeah, we're going to talk about it and more. Just an FYI, this is the PG-13 version of this conversation. If you want a little bit more spicier content, definitely check out our Patreon. Go to thetokenspod.com for more information. And to keep up with all of us, be sure to follow us on all of our socials. The link is in the description below. So I can't wait for you guys to listen in, and let's start the show. Okay, so tell me, how did your career start? Let's start from the beginning.
How did my career start?
Yeah.
Well, my parents always had a plan for me to do this, especially my dad. So when I was born, my mom came up with the name, but they named me Maestro.
So that's your
That's
legal
my
name?
legal name. Yeah, that's my birth name.
Okay.
And yeah, they knew they wanted me to be named Maestro because my dad was really, he wanted me to do entertainment. Music was actually first.
Okay.
So that's, he was trying to sign me up for piano lessons. We have this joke. He was trying to sign me up for this music school for toddlers before I was even out of my mom's stomach. So he's trying to go sign me up for the thing. And they're like, oh, how old is your son? My mom's pregnant, standing next to him. And they're like, sir, we wait till they come out.
Late.
Yeah, he was like,
This is happening. Yeah. So your parents were already in the arts?
No. My mother is a registered nurse, and my dad is electrician and plumber, electrical, mechanical engineer. It was just, I guess, growing up in Chicago, Southside, I think a lot of times you see, and my dad grew up in Philly, but you see what are your kids' options, and neither one of my parents are 6'5", so we knew I'm not going to be a hooper.
No.
You know what I mean? What's a way to get this kid an opportunity so that he
get out and see the world.
Get out, see the world, not be stuck in certain environments and be able to. And I think that was my dad's plan. So entertainment. I mean, that's usually how we do it, right? Yeah. That's it. Even LeBron has to use entertainment. He would sign me up for all this kind of stuff. Tried to get me a agent at a very young age. So even at 4, he was taking me to agencies because people were like, "Oh, you're a cute kid. You should do commercials and stuff." And Dad was like, "Okay." So
That's what we're doing.
All the agencies, a lot of them, he's too young. We don't take him at this age. And then there was one called Stewart Talent. And
Stewart. Shout out to Stewart Talent in Chicago.
Oh yeah.
Quite a few people on their roster. They're good people.
No, great people. And all my early stuff, everything when I was doing the Mike commercials with Michael Jordan, even when I had my first TV show, Guys Like Us, that was on UPN, which was produced by Dan, created by Dan, yeah. But all that stuff was with Stewart. And all the time we did that stuff, same with my parents had a vision, how we were just talking about moving and stuff. Monday through Thursday, they didn't want to move to LA. So Monday through Thursday, I would go to school, my public school in Chicago. Thursday night, I'd fly out here. Friday, we'd do the table read. Saturday, a walkthrough. Sunday, we'd film my show. Yeah. And then Sunday night, I'd fly back out. Monday, I'd be back in school.
Okay, wait.
Yeah.
Okay, so I have so many questions because a usual shooting production schedule, especially for a 4-camera comedy, is a week long. So Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, you rehearse, you go over jokes, you tweak the script, you do a run through with the producers and network.
In the studio.
The studio and everything. And then Thursday, Friday, you shoot the show, and depending on if it's a live audience or not, Friday would usually be your live taping date. So that's a usual shooting schedule. But
No.
you was Monday through Thursday. I'm at home in Chicago, going to school like a regular person.
Yeah.
And Thursday night, I'll be there.
And everybody had to, obviously, everybody working had to get paid, you know, what is it? Because they're working on weekends. So they had to get paid overtime. Yeah. My whole show ran on overtime. And we were getting though, like we were getting like 2.5, 2.8 million viewers, and we came on a Monday night with football.
That's big.
Yo, that's what I'm saying. Like, one thing I gotta say, even because I like went back and put like some of the episodes up on YouTube and stuff, but it's like looking back, like it actually was a pretty good show. It just was, it was 2.5 Men before 2.5 Men.
So it just was ahead of its time.
That's what it was. It was just ahead of its time because it was this kid. My dad has to go away to do some job, so I have to live with my brother, who's like this young, you know, Bumper Robinson, that era, 20-year-old young, but he was the man. Yeah, he's old. And then Chris Hardwick was once again also young white dude, blah blah. So they got this bachelor pad. All they do is you get it. And then here comes little 7-year-old Maestro Harris. Yeah, and so it's the whole, you know, blenders going off and the whole
slapstick.
Yeah, it's pretty crazy. It's wild though, because after everything with the documentary and everything, it made me like go back and like just look at stuff. And it's wild because like I saw all the Brian Peck stuff, and then like I watched like the first episode. Within 4 minutes, he's in the episode. Crazy. Then he played a character called Mr. Happy Pants, the clown, also in an episode where I get a gold card. And so it's like Maestro gets a gold card, so I'm buying all this shit because I don't know how money works. And I order a clown.
You order,
I order a clown, and he's hiring kids, and it's just like, wow, that's some crazy shit. Like looking back, that is like, oh word, that's yeah, it was crazy. And I told my dad about all this because he doesn't. Yeah, so I told him about all the stuff. I was like, yeah, you remember this guy? So, oh, yeah. What's that guy doing? I was just like, yeah, this is what. He was like, what?
So Dan create your show.
Yes.
What was that experience like for you? Because I know that he, later on in his career, he was trying to get out of the kids' television space and do more adult things. So when...
That has to be a crazy feeling, though, to make that many, like, banger kid shows, and then you're like,
you're stuck.
Yeah, no, and then like, people are just like, yeah, bro, we don't want
that. Yeah.
We don't want this for you.
What was that like for you?
Yeah, I know like I said, mine was 98, so I think I don't know when he made that shift, but I think he was still like, well, I guess my show was a hybrid, right? Because it wasn't Nickelodeon, it was UPN, so so it was, like I said, it was kind of 2.5 Men before 2.5 Men. So yeah, I guess in theory, it was kind of like a kid's show, but masked because you had adults.
Right.
You know what I mean? And the humor was like they're still trying to get girls. They're still trying like a little bit more adult humor, you know?
Right.
But my experience was, like I said, I was always with my dad. I never had an issue with him. He was never mean. He was never anything crazy. Working with him in that era was cool. And I got to be honest with you, the last time I saw him ever was I was auditioning for Victorious. And I hadn't seen him in years. And I literally went in the room, and then he like got up, gave me a hug. I did the scene. He was like, "Welcome to Hollywood High." He's like, no question.
So did you do Victorious?
At the time, I was signed to Def Jam, and L.A. Reid didn't let me out of my deal, and you had to sign with Sony to do it. Shout out to Leon Thomas. Yep. Shout out to L.A. Reid too. You know? You never forget when you get fucked over. Just keep moving. Just keep moving. Yeah. But at the same time, I'll be honest with you. If I was doing that, whatever that era was.
That was the early 2000s because Victorious came on after I left.
Yeah, but I don't even think, if I was doing that, I don't even think I would have been able to do Suburgatory.
Fair.
Yeah, I mean, don't get me wrong, I probably would have made more money on Victorious in the long run because that went on. Those shows don't get canceled. You know what I mean? Like niggas shit that like back in the day, that was like if you was on Disney or Nickelodeon, like
Yeah,
we're not canceling this kid.
no, what they do is they don't cancel it. They just spin it off.
Right. So we
So
don't
it's not you right. So it's a whole new
that's what Power do now. They got smart. They said, wait. We get paid. You can come back for that season 1 contract. Let me know. If not, it's okay. We'll move on. Cause I wouldn't be moving on with a whole bunch of, I know the struggle of it.
Yeah, because with kids television, it's 3 seasons.
Right.
So every show, if you've noticed, is 3 seasons long, and then after that, they do a spinoff.
Right.
Because after the 3rd season, they have to pay the writers full price. They have to update everybody's. They have to do all of those things because that's within the contract for a lot of folks. But really it's cheaper for them to brand it as a whole new show than it is to
Corey in the house. Because they're like, this Raven's great, but we can't keep paying her.
But Raven was the only one that was a SAG show. So they had, oh yes, baby. She was sort of, no, they were strictly under an AFTRA contract. That's why nobody got residuals.
See, that's what I'm saying.
Children's television, you do not get residuals.
So I didn't know that.
Yeah.
But that, once again, though, like my parents they knew, like, you're not about to be just out here. You're not just hanging out. You don't need to be in LA like this right now. Also, I have a brother. Like my dad was like, I'm not about to uproot my whole family for, maybe season 2. We can have some discussions.
Yeah, that's the same thing my mom did. So the first season of all that, we were put up in an apartment by Nickelodeon.
Okay.
And then the second season, she was like, okay, let's move. We moved the entire family to LA and kept going. But yeah, my mom was like your dad. My mom was there on set. My mom was like, yeah, I need to see you here with me.
Like these other people, I don't know these people. Like, and I think that's one thing where whenever I do hear the stories of things that go left, a lot of times it's just like, if you're putting a whole lot of trust into other people you don't know, like you don't know these people. Like it's that simple. Like you can feel a kind of way maybe because they might have a little money or they might have a little success but you don't know them. So like at the end of the day, this is nothing more than, everybody don't hang out with their employers at regular jobs. Or not only their employer. It gets even creepier because these are also your employers. Right. People don't even hang out with all the people they just work with. At regular jobs. So if I'm 10 or 12, why am I doing anything with people who aren't my parents? And my parents should probably have the time to come pick me up because we getting paid, right? What's going on?
Yeah.
Like, it's just like, I don't know. I've seen it in a lot of facets. And I've had situations where like, even in my teenage years where I like moved, like I lived in Atlanta for like 2005, 2006. And I was signed to Jermaine Dupri. And like I lived in Atlanta and it's like my parents didn't go with me. I lived in Atlanta with Jermaine and Janet. Like that was, so I had I get it, but it also is the same thing. It's like very different environment and it never felt, I don't know. I feel like when environments are too PC, which on paper Hollywood is, there's something weird about that.
You do your show.
Yes.
Guys
like us.
And then you skirted over, hey, I had a record deal with Jermaine Dupri. How did that happen?
Okay, so it all kind of started with, just to go a little bit before, I was doing Jay Leno. And after I did the Be Like Mike ad with Michael Jordan, that opened a whole lot of doors.
Yeah.
Yeah, and so I ended up doing Jay Leno like 5-6 times. I ended up doing, and every time I would go on Jay Leno, I'd sing. So I'd do like a Jackie Wilson song, or I'd do like an Elvis song, because that was another piece of the puzzle. So Maestro, the music, I had done Maury 2-3 times before he actually started only doing, You Are the Father shows. He used to do like Most Talented Under 12. And so I've been on there performing multiple times. I've done the Howie Mandel show, every Vibe with Sinbad, every late night show that they had, I did. And I would go up there, I'd sing, I'd do the whole thing, cute kid, blah, blah, blah. That led to when they reached out for the show to me getting guys like us, it was like, hey, we kind of want to create a vehicle for this kid.
How
Like
old were you?
7.
Okay.
Because that was 98.
All of that doing the different
Oh, that was all the way up until 98. So that was probably from like 96 to 98.
okay.
Yeah. And then 98, got the show. After that, didn't do TV for a second. I was still doing a ton of commercials, all that kind of little stuff. And then from
Don't sleep on the commercials. Commercials definitely pay.
oh, the commercials pay. Like they take care of, especially as a kid.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, and then they were running them all the time because you gotta remember, we were talking about this, like there was no social media, right? So being on TV was that was how you had to do it. Like if you're not on TV or you're not in a movie, I don't see you.
Right.
You know what I mean? Whereas now it's like, let's be real. People can name certain influencers more than they can name actors. So then why are they supposed to pay you? I'd rather have Drewski. I know Drewski gonna put so many asses in seats. I don't know about insert name here.
Right, actor,
You know what I
played,
mean?
so
Yeah, I mean, unless we talking, the Michael B. Jordans and the blah, blah, blah. Right. But at the end of the day, I don't see Michael B. Jordan every day. I see Drewski every day. I feel like I know him. You see what I'm just getting at? Like it's a whole different gig. But anyway, so we went from there, and then I didn't do TV for a second, but then I did The Lion King. I played young Simba in at the Cadillac Palace in Chicago.
Oh,
so yeah, so I did that.
Did some little
theater. I also did A Raisin in the Sun. I played Travis in that at the Goodman. And actually I did that with oh really? Am I drawing a blank right now? Jeffrey Minor.
Okay.
Yeah, so she played some of the whole thing. And then from there, after I did The Lion King, that was when I was supposed to go. What did I do? Oh no! After Lion King, they wanted me to go to San Francisco to finish The Lion King and do another year. And my dad was like, no, we've done enough of this. Let's move on. At first, it really sucked, but then I was like, because I had to go like school and stuff too. So I'm like, I'm in 7th grade now, so I'm going back to school. I did 1 year at this school called Robert A. Black in Chicago. The school was fine. That just the kids were just. I'm coming from like I was in the school from 1st to 6th grade that was just so loving, so caring, so just like nurturing. So all the kids knew what I did. It wasn't weird,
Right.
Then I go to this new place and it's like, well, he just came from doing, and all these kids are like, fuck this guy.
Right.
Yeah. And so that was awful. And then midway through that, I went down to Atlanta because we had been since I was like since I was like, I want to say 11 or something, we had been going back and forth talking with Jermaine. My parents my dad was coming, and we were like figuring out like, are we gonna do a record deal or what's the whole deal? So
But you got a deal, you cut an album.
well, yeah, I ended up getting it. So I ended up flying down, and when I was like 12, 13, I was out there for a little bit, and I was like, I don't want to go back to Chicago.
Okay.
And JD was like, no, you got to go back home. And I'm like, no, if I want to call my dad. Like, he'll probably let me stay down here so we can work. Like, that was like myself, because I want to work. You know what I mean? And so they talked on the phone. He's like, I mean, if you don't care, because it was like cool camp. The coolest thing was Bow Wow. I was this kid who sang fucking Elvis songs and blah, 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 Jackie Wilson songs on TV. Nah, nigga, like, you need to learn how to be cool. So that was like, you need to kind of come down here and hang out with Bow Wow and all the cool people and realize this is how you act. And
This is the swagger camp.
Swagger camp. That's exactly what it was. And so did that, stayed out there for about a year. That's when he was dating Janet. So it was like basically 3 of us in the condo. And like, it was cool. It was like, saw shit that I've never flying private jets, blah, blah. Like, it was the first time me actually seeing like, oh, like people live like this. Like, you could really live like this. Like, this isn't me going to LA seeing like, oh yeah, I'm in a limo and doing blah, blah, and then I go back south side of Chicago. Like, no, like these niggas sleep in mansions.
Yeah.
Like, what are we talking about? Like, oh, this is okay. So this is feasible. And they're all black people.
Yeah.
You see what I'm getting at?
Yeah.
Like, these are all black people who are doing this. I'm on a jet with all black people. So this is feasible. And then obviously also Bow Wow's only 16, 17, picking me up in Ferraris. Like, yeah, let's go back to my place and we go swimming and go blah, blah. Okay, but you have a mansion that you bought your mother and you're only 18, 17. We're just saying, it's
different.
like,
it's different seeing it that,
yes,
coming from, I don't want to say like a poor neighborhood or anything, but lower middle class or middle class lifestyle, and then being thrust into something that extravagant overnight, of course, it's gonna skew your sense of reality.
Yeah, but I love it because it made me delusional to know. I mean, also, this is me seeing this, and this is me seeing the perks of what somebody who's already had a television show at 7 should have. You're showing me the perks of what somebody who's already I've been doing this 30 years. I know what I deserve.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like,
So let's go forward. You do your swagger camp.
yeah. Then I
Okay.
go from there, get sent back home
Mhm.
because of just being bad, just being annoying. And then I end up I get 2 auditions for things when I get back. One of them is to sing at the opening of Disney World in Hong Kong. And I end up doing that. And then right before I leave to do that, I go in for this audition for The Wire.
Oh,
So getting sent back home was kind of the best thing that ever happened to me
Okay.
because then
it opened the door for those 2 massive
right.
opportunities.
And on top of that, I don't think I get The Wire without going to Swagger camp
Yeah.
because my parents would never let me get my hair braided. My parents were not with none of that. They were like, no.
So you just was out here throwing it.
Oh, throwing it. So, but when I came back from Atlanta, my hair was braided up. I'm wearing white tees. I look like I could belong in Baltimore. It's crazy how
Things just kind of lined
how
up.
they're supposed to. So ended up getting The Wire. That was great. Got out of school again. So freshman year, I was homeschooled. And then post shooting that, sophomore year, guess what? I get flown back to Atlanta because I'm relevant. I got some going on.
Okay.
And so I get flown back to Atlanta. We start working on a project. Project never comes out, but I do get an MTV My Super Sweet 16 out of it. So
that's cool.
Def Jam ended up throwing me the MTV Super Sweet 16. It was like JD through the whole thing, making it big. And funny too, that was our Instagram.
That was.
That's a on MTV with celebrities. And guess who DJ'd my party?
Jazzy Jeff?
No, you ever heard of D Nice?
Yes.
Yeah. We're talking 2007.
Okay, so can we elaborate a little bit more about your experience on The Wire?
Yeah. What do you want to know?
Okay, so you literally go to Hong Kong to sing
Okay.
for Disney,
Right.
and then after that you go straight into The Wire.
Yeah. So basically, while I was out there, my dad was going back and forth with all the people. So a fun story about that actually is because I had shows previously and all these other things. When they got me, first I went in and I read for Michael. That was the character I read for first. Then they had me come in and they had me read for Randy. And that's the character I ended up being, obviously. And so while they were figuring out the paperwork while I was in Hong Kong, they were constantly going back and forth. And I guess basically the attorney that I had, who I used all these years, was like, this makes no sense. So they wanted us to be favorite nations. So all the kids got paid the same. We didn't really get paid anything. We got paid, what, $9,000 a week, something like that. This is trash. I'm just saying, it's an hour series.
An hour series on one of the
On HBO.
HBO.
Yeah, and I get it, saying
9,000 a week.
9,000 a week, and then you got to remember you have an adult with you who's not getting paid to be there because you're 12, 13. So all our parents have to be there. So that's not really, so they can't work, right?
Okay.
So I mean, fortunately, my dad was back in Chicago doing his thing. My mom came out with me for this, but it's just still the fact of like, not every kid in there really had a 2-parent household, right?
Right.
So what are you supposed to do there? You're making 9,000 a week by the time taxes and you take out your agency. You're looking at about what, like four racks, $4,000 a week. Is not really. And mind you, you're talking to somebody who's also had a show, had things, and then you want to pay me the same thing that
everybody else. Yeah.
So he was like, "No, this is ridiculous." They end up getting a call from HBO that's like, "Hey, look, your attorney's blowing it. We're gonna move on. So you can pick either the money's a problem and we'll move on, or so bit that bullet. Said okay. I think we got 10,000 for relocating, and after that was out there for, but we do 13 episodes, so out there for a little over
Yes, yeah,
4 months. Yeah, almost 4 or 5 months. Yeah. So it was a crazy story. I know my dad went through hell just because I was like, "Hey, what's going on with it? Is it still going? Is it what?"
Right.
And he's just like trying to make it work, but I'm like, in Hong Kong, and he's over here trying to do it. But we figured it out. I went in, I did the screen test. Went great, and then it's one of those things you realize sometimes you're forced to make sacrifices, and when you're forced to make those sacrifices, they can be beneficial in the long run. But like, never sit there and and dismiss the fact you got played. You just remember that, and
Yeah,
you
you
know,
know how to work.
and you also know what this is me going back to the joke about Drewski. You know what the value is.
Right.
If you bring in value, that's not, they wasn't gonna hit Dominic West with that. You know, The Wire. Look at the show. I would say it's a pretty black show, right?
It's a very black show.
Who's number one on the call sheet? Dominic West. So I mean, you know, it's things you realize over time, you know, and you see, and I've seen it in multiple ways in this game. You know what I mean? And it's cool, but what I'm thankful for though is being able to be a part of something that is that good. Because I mean, there's a lot of people getting finessed financially, and their part of it's just not that good.
Right.
You know what I mean? Like I've done some
that's
stuff
fair.
I didn't get paid a lot for, and
Well, it's still.
I'm not talking about it today. You know what I'm saying? But this is something I will say. I'm like, all right, you know, I am grateful I was a part of that. I am, and it spearheaded so many other things. That's what leads to Suburgatory.
Yeah, that
You
was
know what I
my
mean?
follow-up.
Yeah.
So like you coming from a very black show like
Yeah.
Wire, and then completely doing a 180 and
Right.
going to Suburgatory.
So I cutting your hair it's a true thing. If you want to work, you should cut your hair.
Yeah.
That's-
Or change your, not have locks.
Yeah, not have locks, not have braids.
Nothing urban.
That's why you can't catch me on anything right now. This is the game though. You know, it's like you can't be too urban, can't be any of that kind of stuff. And so when I did Suburgatory, I cut my hair, and I also, sidebar, a lot of people don't know this, but I went and I was making dance music for a while. So like I don't like guys like Tiesto and like Dash Berlin and all these like huge DJs and stuff. Like I was making remixes and doing stuff and like having out. So it was like veering into that world as well, which also it's exactly what it is. And that aligns very well with this. Exactly, you know. I was going to EDC and Ultra and all that kind of stuff, but I was like, my records were actually played at EDC, at Ultra, at like, I was like really doing it. I had like, I don't know if you know what Beatport is, but I had a Beatport #1. Like I've like played in that field.
You've done the thing.
Yeah, I did the thing.
So now you're on Suburgatory.
Yeah, so I moved from that. I was just saying like that whole, it's the same structuring though, of like, I kind of feel like I end up on shows that make sense for where my head's at the time.
Okay.
You know what I mean? And that comes through with my look, my everything, you know. So Suburgatory, they were obviously Emily Kaepernick, the lady who wrote it, was a fan of The Wire. But it's another prime example. Suburgatory started off with me. It was a hello. Malik was supposed to say hello. That was it. That's it. Episode 1, hello. They don't even have a close up of me. The joke is diversity student Malik, and then they walk past the classroom. I say hello. That's it. And then she was like, yeah, we're going to bring him back, though. We're going to have some fun stuff from Malik. And I'm like, okay, right. I've heard this before. We'll see.
Yeah.
Second episode ended up being damn near all about Malik. I ended up doing 30-something out of 3 seasons. I did 30-something episodes. And it was supposed to just be like a super recurring, like you barely see the kid type thing. I ended up getting a family. Tim Meadows played my father. Yeah, like it was really.
Like you ended up being her friend, like genuine.
Oh yeah, bro. I was married to her. Oh, well, I was her best friend, and I was married to Issa. Yeah. So yeah, you know, 30 episodes. Still never got past recurring. Never was a series regular. You could never dismiss you were finesse. But I will say it was a dope show. It was fun. I was kind of mad when it ended, but then I couldn't be mad because guess what took its place? Blackish. So what I'm gonna say? What I'm gonna say?
Okay,
so you know what I'm saying? Like they got the same time slot, everything. I was like, and it's completely inverse from what that was.
Yeah.
So what I'm gonna say, you know? But I do think it was fun shooting it. Yeah, it was cool to work with so many people like Cheryl Hines and like people that I've watched from other things previously, you know. But
okay, so highlighting you being the token on the show, what is the comparison differences, especially for something very black as The Wire to going to Suburgatory?
they made me dress up like Patricia Arquette in Medium
Huh?
because I'm the black guy.
They put you in a dress?
Not a dress, a wig and a blazer. Close. Yeah. What you gonna do? Quit?
How do you handle that? Especially because how old are you when this is happening?
22. 23, 22, 23.
How do you advocate for yourself in those moments? Or like how do you? Okay, hey, I'm the only black guy here. I don't know.
Yeah, I
Fill in the
think
blank.
it's I think this the tone though and the time. Like I think it's one of those things too. We gotta shift when shows like Suburgatory went off and Blackish came on. We gotta shift in 2020 when certain shit happens.
Right.
Like those shifts happen and then they make people accept certain, like for example, we saw a whole bunch of black people on TV for like last 3-4 years. That's about to slow down.
It okay.
But you see what I'm saying? It's like
I feel you. It comes in waves.
There you go, yeah.
Because in the 90s, it was this explosion of black television. Like it was good black television, right? So all of that happening in the 90s, and you had your show when you were a kid in the 90s. So it was very much right. It was very much open and celebrated. And then when we got to the 2000s and the teens, it switched
Yeah.
immediately.
Yeah. I think I don't know what started in the 90s, but I'll tell you that 90s black content was great. Like great. But I feel like it just now it's all metrics, right? So it's all metrics based on who we want to sell to, who our advertisers are, this is what I always try to tell people who love, because I just been doing it so long. So yeah, I'm slightly jaded, but it's like I see it in a sense of like, man, this is a business. Like it's cool that you can love the art and all this kind of stuff because that's what got me into it. That's why like that's what kept me in it. Like I love the art of. I love watching a great movie. I love hearing a great song, like a great piece of art. But the people who gonna give you money for that don't give a about that at all. They
just the bottom
line. Will Pfizer put ads behind this? Will Coca-Cola put ads behind this? If not, I don't really give a. So now if Coca-Cola and Pfizer needs to virtue signal that they like blacks and Asians and diverse and DEI, then that's what they're gonna do. Like, because they have to. And it's like, so that's gonna change what kind of content is bought. Unfortunately, because there's a lot of good things that are just what they are and they're good and they should be on television, but it doesn't fit a mold.
So with the power of, because we've gently talked about this before, with social media and a lot of people of color and entertainment creating their own space and content, because that seems to be the necessary norm
100%.
for anybody of color. Like you have to create your own in order to be heard. And then when they advertisers or whatnot find it lucrative, I mean, look at the Wayans family, look at Tyler Perry, look at anybody that has done anything. They make their own stuff, and then people start coming.
People come and then they'll we need some of that.
Oh wait, black dollars do matter. Like no,
Exactly.
so cool.
But I think it's also the thing too of other the Wayans. They are an anomaly, and I think also the fact that you got Kenan, you got Damon, and then you have this large ensemble cast already made in. So I think that helps. Like we never got to worry about actors, and all of us kind of right, and all of us kind of we could figure something out. You feel me? Tyler Perry was just smart. He said, "I can make low budget content, and y'all will buy it because there's nothing else for you." So bet, and that's what we do. It's a great business model. That's what I'm saying. That's why he's a billionaire. Spike Lee's making art. He's not a billionaire. Tyler Perry's making tangible products. He's a billionaire. You see what I'm saying? So me watching all of this stuff and then watching, how many shows Dan make? How many shows these people out here making all the time for these networks? So really, I think a lot of times we say like, man, we got to make our own stuff if we want it. I think the biggest thing is, no, we need to, as a people, we need to get our shit together and have more money as a culture, because the problem is we have to go get money from people that don't look like us. So if you don't have to go get your money from somebody who don't look like you, that alleviates all this shit and then you can make what you want to make. The problem is you don't have a streaming platform to put your shit on. Paramount on BET. So what are we talking about? You see what I'm saying? It's like, it's a bigger issue. Like how many times we want to complain about, oh, this nigga signed a bad record deal. Oh, well, then why don't we have places that can give us money to do that? Like that is where we're up. We always expecting somebody to help us, but we got to help ourselves more. Right. We can't all be artists. Some of us got to be business. That's what I'm saying. We can't all have a script. What are we talking about?
Yeah.
One of us got to have a fucking production company, and then maybe some scripts.
Yeah.
Okay, I got 50 friends with scripts. I got 1,000 niggas who want to be actors. I got 200 people who want to be rappers. All right,
Where's the money coming from? Where is
and he all trying to sell it to somebody who don't look like us.
Mm.
Facebook, Meta don't look like us. Netflix don't look like us. HBO don't look. Max, I'm sorry, don't look like us. What we doing? I don't even know somebody black own all black. I doubt it. So what we doing?
I have to look that up.
Yeah, no, I gotta look that up too. That's what I'm
I
saying.
have to look that up.
And if I'm wrong, I'm wrong. But I said
Oh no, but what? So this is a much deeper issue because the issue now is Tubi is the number one black.
Yeah, I know.
Blackity black. We don't own that. No, but that's the formula of how a lot of these shows came to play. What most people don't know, if we're getting into the history of this, UPN was very blackity black.
Yes. And
When
turn
they
it to
added
the
CW and turned it to the CW, and then as soon as they got their money, if you notice, all the black shows were gone.
Yeah.
Same thing happened with Fox. Fox was very blackity black in the beginning.
Yes.
Because if it wasn't for Fox, if it wasn't for the Wayans brothers and Living Color, we would not have the Super Bowl halftime show.
Michael Jackson would have never did that spin and landed on the shit.
That would have never happened, but it was because of our black creators and black content. And then as soon as Fox and everybody else got their money, all of the black shows, all of the black content disappeared. And the same thing is about to happen with Tubi. People aren't really talking about it or knowing it. So yeah,
you're completely right. Cause in that era of Malcolm and Eddie, all that Moesha, all that that's when my show was on UPN.
Yeah.
And that was the
show.
yeah, like you're right.
So what are you doing now?
Now I have obviously I'm still doing a lot of like voiceover work on like different projects, all that kind of stuff. So
Shoot the resume out. Don't be modest.
What?
This is the time to celebrate you.
Like just doing like just light stuff, but doing worked on a couple movies that are about to come out. Did some voiceover work on The Color Purple. Did some voiceover work on Creed. Did some voiceover work on trying to think of also. It's a lot of stuff. I do like a lot of looping work. So it's like all kinds.
So for those who don't know, looping is so like we'll record something, do the show, and the mic or some technical difficulties will happen where it doesn't come out clear. And so we'll go back into the studio in a voiceover booth and re-record just that line for audio so it comes out clean. So that's what looping is.
Yeah, so I've been doing a lot of that and then mostly focused on my podcast. Like, so all the stuff I'm saying is, I think a lot of creatives in this space, and this is what's gotten me to what I'm trying to do now. A lot of creatives in this space, and especially somebody who's done it for so long, I see, like I said, we're all still, we have the internet now. Like we have the internet.
The internet makes it an even playing field.
That's what I'm getting at. But I still see way too many of my friends, like look like you and me, who are sitting there. I'm like, man, you still over here trying to like really trying to get these huge conglomerates that are dying themselves in a lot of ways. But it's like you're not looking behind the mechanisms. Like it's not going up, it's going down. So in theory, I feel like every black person I know who writes scripts want to be Issa Rae. But none of them want to do a YouTube series. So what the is you trying to do? Issa Rae did a whole YouTube series. She did YouTube.
Yeah.
And then she made proof of concept. This shit works. Right. And then they went and said, we need. And then she said, I'm going to also be in it. Okay. You know how many actors I know with scripts, blah, 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 blah. And then, yeah, but they don't want me to do that.
Do it yourself. Do it yourself.
That's what I'm saying. That's so.
Do it. Okay, so how this whole podcast came about as well is, again, this is following Issa Rae's plan, network sideways. Use the people who you got in your corner.
Thank you.
Y'all can do something together and get the product out and get the proof of concept and get everything else that you need. You can be self-sufficient in your, you just got to have the whys and the businesses and the connections.
Yes, and just, how about this? Just have a product. Because that's another thing I've learned. Like, from doing all the things I've done, it's like, it don't matter you make music unless I got music that I can just go play. That's what, like, you know why people just only go listen to Future and Drake? Because there's over 1,000 songs to go listen to. Wayne, when he went on his run, there was thousands of songs. You see what I'm getting at?
Yeah.
Niggas want to be like, my new single coming out. And then they don't drop nothing for 5 months. I don't know who the fuck you are.
Yeah.
You should have a new
consistency.
song out every day.
Yeah.
And same with most actors. Think about it. Most actors, you go to even their Instagram pages, they're inactive. Because unless they're working on something, they don't want to post anything. Because they think of how people are going to perceive X, Y, Z. No one's looking or you'd be working more. It's like, I want people to get this. Like, as a guy who's done this for a very long time, you start to realize it's like, oh yeah, whenever I get opportunities and money coming in, is because people are seeing me in some capacity. I'm creating some form of product that I could kind of try to peddle. Right. But like, if you don't have anything to peddle but yourself, no one gives a because if they did, they would already have hired you. So yeah, already done it. So I love what you're doing with the same thing. Like, I'm Surrounded by Idiots. Make sure y'all check it out. It's on YouTube. Surrounded by Idiots podcast, but it's same idea. Interviewing my friends who have done work in the industry or done work in special
some
capacity in special or certain what's the word I'm looking for, in different fields. You know what I mean? And obviously it's a lot of actors, a lot of musicians, DJs, all the above. But then also I'm getting into like people who work in like golf spaces and people who are like, I want to interview doctors, I want to interview lawyers, I'd like to interview more entertainment attorneys, stuff like that. Like, so my thing is I wanted to build something where it's like, look, I can create my own show and I can have 2 episodes up every week. So why wouldn't I do that? And why would I wait for somebody to believe in me? I believe in myself more than anyone could ever believe in me. You know what I mean? And I have the capacity, and fortunately I have just enough resources to pull shit off. So that's what I'm going to do. Because otherwise I'm going to be sitting here complaining about how things are unfair. Everything's fucking unfair. You know what I mean?
No,
that is
right.
That is the nature of this.
Yeah. All right, so plug your socials. Tell me where you at, where people can find you.
You can find me on Instagram at Maestro, Maestro. You can find me on Twitter or X, Maestro Harrell, Maestro, Harrell. And that is also my YouTube channel, Maestro Harrell, my name. And you can see the whole Surrounded by Idiots podcast there. No, thank you so much.
Thank you so much for coming.
I want a hug, honestly.
No, we family of this. You know, maybe you can come to the strip club with me the next time. You know, like
how about right to Atlanta? Matter of fact, to Atlanta. We're doing a podcast there.
Yeah, okay.
And we holding the mics.
Just like this. Hello, and welcome to This Week on Strips.
Yeah, so in the back we got Candy. So Candy actually comes from Southern Florida. Her father is, and I'm sorry. That's a Patreon clip for you.